How to detach from people and situations. So, in this video, let us talk and let us actually experience what letting go is all about. I want to guide you through an experience and show you a really simple practice that we can try together, which is harder to explain than it is to apply because the explanations I give, they can only be as you can only perceive them as signposts leading to what you need to do, but you wouldn't find the practice in the explanations. They are not enough. They will never be enough. But either way, let us try to use some words to explain how you can detach from people and situations. And what do I mean by that? Well, each of us going through life, we become attached to certain situations in the past that, for example, we didn't like how they unfolded, or we think that we should have done something different, or we believe that maybe if this person reacted in a certain way, in a different way, maybe the situation would have unfolded differently, and maybe if I said something different to that person, something else would have happened. Or let's say you're attached to a person and you want something from them, but you find it impossible to get it. No matter what you do, no matter how you change your behavior and your attitude, you cannot get that outcome from that person. Let's say, for example, it is a specific person that you like and you want them to be, for example, physically attracted to you, or you want them to care more for you, to to just spend more time with you, to cherish you more. But this doesn't happen, and let's say you're attached to those outcomes. But nevertheless, no matter what you do, like, no matter how much you try, no matter how much you think, no matter how you try to change yourself, the situations with this person that you're attached to don't unfold in the way you want them to. And so you find yourself consistently thinking about them and consistently trying to find a solution in your mind. Well, my friend, this is not how you detach. I wanted to start this video like that to explain what detachment is not, because as I told you in the beginning, it's really hard to describe with words. But when you're attached to the thoughts and the stories you have about a certain situation that has happened in your life, and you haven't fully accepted it, maybe you want to change it, maybe you feel guilty, maybe you blame somebody else in that situation, maybe you wanted a different outcome, and you're thinking in your mind all the stories of what you wanted to happen differently and what you could have done and what you should have done, and then you start feeling more and more guilty, right? So this is not detachment. It is not detachment because you're still in your mind. You haven't accepted the experience of what happened in that situation. Or let's say it's a person again. When you're thinking of what you should have done in a situation with that person, or how you could change yourself to make them behave differently around you, again, this is all in your mind. It's happening in your mind. This is not detachment. Detachment means the complete acceptance of how you feel about a certain situation or about a certain person. It's all about feeling, experiencing all the sensations in your body that are connected to that situation or to that person. And in a moment, I want to read to you one quote from Dr. David Hawkins' book, Letting Go. I highly encourage this book to everybody. It's like my Bible. I have read it 5 times in my life already, like for 5 consequent years. And I made myself the promise that this is the book that I will read every single year until the rest of my life, because it's so deep and it's written on so many different layers. It's so hard to comprehend all of those layers, but every time I read it, it helps me let go. So yeah, let me actually go to that quote, and then after that, if you want, if you stay with me, we can actually try a really brief, simple exercise in which you can experience briefly what detachment is and how you can detach from a certain situation or from a person. So yeah, you can think of somebody or a certain situation that you want to detach. But here is what David Hawkins talks about desire. It's all about, like, what I read to you is like how you detach from desires. And when you have attachment to certain situations, you have a desire for them to be different. Or when you have attachment to a certain person, you have desires related to them. So when you understand how desire works, it will be so much easier for you to understand how you can, and not only understand, but apply detachment to that situation or that person. So here is what he says. If we look at something that we want, we can begin to distinguish between the thing itself versus the aura, the patina, the flash, the attractive magnetic effect of a quality that can be best described as glamor. So glamor is basically the subjective meaning we give to that situation or to that outcome we are attached to, or to what we want from that person, the desire we have connected to that person. This is the glamour. Glamour. It's a quality. It's not what we want in reality, in the objective reality. No, it's something that it's a fantasy. It is the disparity between what a thing is in itself and the glamour that we have attached to it, which leads to disillusionment. I'm not sure how this word is spelled. So often we have chased some goal, and then when we have achieved it, we are disappointed. Have you experienced that? I have, for certain. That is because the thing itself does not coincide with our pictures of it. Glamour means that we have attached sentimentality, or we have made it bigger than life. We have projected onto a thing a magical quality that somehow leads us to believe that once we acquire it, we will magically achieve some higher state of happiness or satisfaction. Meaning that every time, unconscious to our awareness, our mind attaches meaning to certain situations or to a certain person. And now this meaning is the fact that we can only experience a certain feeling if it happens the way we want, if the situation happened the way we want, or if we got what we wanted from that person. We can only experience this feeling, whatever it is, of happiness and satisfaction, only if what we want happened. So now to detach, what do we do to detach? Well, it's a simple, and now stay with me for a moment. I want you first to focus your awareness, to do a body scan, just real quick. Scan how your body feels. This will get you in a present state of conscious awareness, your awareness of being. You're just here now, feeling. And so now I want you to picture in mind the situation or the person you're feeling attached to that is constantly appearing in your mind. And so just picture it for a moment. Let it float up in your mind. And now once it's there, I don't want you to stay in your mind no more. I don't care what happens. I don't care what stories you have about that situation or about that person. Doesn't matter what it is. The moment you trigger it, you just think of this person or this situation. Now I want you to focus all your awareness in your body. So how do you feel? No thinking. You just don't allow your attention to go into thought. You have already triggered the feeling behind this situation or this person. And now we just want to stay with it. Meaning that you starve to death your thoughts, your stories. You don't give them any food. All your awareness is only in your body. And you most likely will start feeling emotional. Some energy will start moving somewhere in your body. Something will happen, like there will be some movement of energy, or you'll find that there is this stiffness somewhere, this friction in some place, and just stay there. And what if you could accept that? What if you didn't want to change it? What if you could just be with it, here, present, now, experiencing all the feelings connected to that situation or to that person? What if this was all that's required? There was nothing else to be done. You couldn't find a solution, no matter how much you thought about it. And I'm sure you've already tried. But what if you didn't do it? What if it's not possible? What if there was nothing to change other than just accepting the way you feel about this situation or this person? What if you are able to see clearly the glamor that you give this situation or this person, the desires you have towards them? And you see the glamor, and then you see yourself seeing the glamor, and then you feel how you feel about it. And then you just decide consciously, I'm not going to give any meaning to this situation or to that person. I'll just remain there, being present now. And it's okay if some vulnerable emotions start coming up. It's part of the process. When you detach, when you don't think, when you don't try to find solution, when you don't try to change what has already happened, when you don't want anything from that person, and you accept the situation the way it is, and you remain there. It's okay if you start feeling emotional, because these emotions, this is the suppressed energy that was initially driving all the thought activity that you had in your mind, all the stories you had about that situation or about that person. And now that you stay with that energy, just remain with it. Let it be there. Let it move if it wants to. Let it expand. Breathe into it. Let it be there and don't want to change it. Just complete acceptance. And you'll find that by doing that, by detaching mentally from that situation or from that person, and you experience all the connected feelings to that situation or to that person, you let them be there. And then you let them go. You let them run their course through your body. And maybe you'll cry out. Maybe you'll start sweating. Maybe you'll start expanding. Maybe like a certain muscle in your body will relax. It will ease. Something will happen. Like there is physiological effects behind letting go, behind detachment. But at the end, you should feel at ease. You should feel relaxed. You should feel lighter. And then at the end, you should also see the situation or that person more objectively. Now you're not clouding it with all the glamour you have been giving it before. So this, my friend, is detachment. As simple as that. It's simple, definitely not easy. Definitely not easy. Because our mind, it always tries to find the easy solution, right? And by doing so, it always overcomplicates things. It's a funny paradox. But what we are trying now is just being, feeling. That's it, nothing more. And this is enough. It's all that's required. It's simple. It's simple as fuck, but it's not easy because it's not in your mind. So there is nobody who make it easy or hard. Like you're not doing it. It's something that happens on its own when you decide to stop indulge in thinking, stop indulging in thinking, and just feel. Like picture the situation, the person, and then instead of thinking and finding a solution, just feel. And then you detach. Your awareness, what detaches actually, your attention, your conscious beingness here, this cognizance that is listening to my voice, it's being detached from the story you have attached to that situation. Because before that, you were giving this situation a story, like some meaning, and this meaning was the story that you knew about it, or like this person, you are idolizing them, you are putting them on a pedestal. Maybe you are seeing what you wanted to see, you are not seeing them as who they are really. And so when you detach the stories you have about the situation, about the person, what happens is that your attention, again, this attention that listens to my voice now, it detaches from the story, gets back into the center of your presence awareness, your naked awareness of being, and then experiences all the feelings, all the energy connected to that situation, purely naked, like be, be, beyond any conditions. You don't want anything from that energy, so it's not you who is doing it. The detachment happens on its own when you decide to stop indulging in thinking. It's a paradox, but this is how it works. That's why it's not simple. It's not easy. It's not hard. It is simple, but it is beyond your control. It's in your decision to let go, but you cannot control it. You can only decide to not indulge in thinking about a situation or about a person. So hope you were able to experience this process. I really trust that you did actually, and you found this video to be useful. If this is true, if this is the case, like it, comment down below, let me know what's your experience with letting go. And if you want to go deeper into letting go, you can actually check out this playlist in which you can see all the letting go videos I have. Or if you have a specific person to whom you're really attached to and you want to understand exactly what it is that you're learning from them, because there is a reason why you're attached. You can also check out this meditation that I also put in the end cards at this video, where it's like a guided meditation, a guided process through which you see, you experience what you need to learn from that person. That being the case, my friend, thank you so much for watching the video. I trust you found it valuable. If you're new to the channel, also subscribe to it, and I would love to see you around. Thank you so much for staying until the end. I love you, my friend. Bye-bye.